Thank you so much for having me. 10 months ago, I lost almost everything in the Los Angeles fires. My home of 20 years, the library, the grocery store, my kids' high school, my mother's home, homes around me for miles and miles. It all burned. And I'm a filmmaker, so I also lost much of my work, my footage. In insurance parlance, it was a total loss. But there are gifts. While I wouldn't wish the fire on anyone, it did come with some gifts. And those gifts were an appreciation of memories, ghosts, and imperfection. A direct experience of what it feels like to be displaced, which I now share with so many. And a renewed appreciation of the power of stories. While my medium used to be documentary film, I discovered that I needed to write and found a new community among those who understood what I was navigating and connected with my grief, a fire/grief narrative. Recently in my displacement, I found myself living in an old Victorian house in my daughter college town in rural Massachusetts. And so I get to read her college essays, proofread them, and I learn from them. And recently, Charlotte wrote about political parties in the United States and whether there is hope for them and democracy overall. And Charlotte was optimistic. Charlotte thought that we should all do more door knocking. That's Charlotte there. Or canvassing, which typically in America is meant to get out the vote, but her idea was that we should do more listening. We should hear each other's stories. Now, that same week, an article appeared in my feed about Longbridge canvassing. And it was, again, people were sent out, not with the intention to persuade, because persuasion often backfires, but to connect, to practice deep listening. So the article recounts the experience of working class voters knocking on the doors of affluent people, and vice versa. So they didn't just build bridges with strangers, they confronted fear, mistrust, their own biases. And a line in the article stuck with me. To build a world where we all belong, we must be willing to listen to one another. But in 2025, voters around the world are increasingly distrustful, not only of the government, but also of each other. We have stopped listening to each other, stopped connecting or building bridges. In America 2025, we are living in an age of strong men, and yes, they are mostly men who beat their chest and tweet in all caps and threaten violence and have created a fear of the other. So content has also become about sides, good and bad, winners and losers, heroes and villains, right and wrong. The left fears the right fears the left. It goes both ways. So I am here in front of you today making a pitch for the power of a different kind of content, narratives that are harder to hear, voices who are not attention-seeking or even accustomed to the privilege of being listened to. Smaller stories that may take longer to resolve and don't necessarily fit into the binary. Often, these are women's stories. So this brings me to Sarah. Now, this is Sarah, who I met in 2012. She was 14, a math whiz in a family of 7 siblings in a small, impoverished town in the Midwestern state of Missouri, a place California urban elites like myself tend to fly over and avoid. But I was impressed with Sarah, and I started filming with Sarah. At age 15, just like her mom had, Sarah became pregnant. She didn't want an abortion, so she didn't have one. Sarah did, however, want to stay in school. She desperately wanted to be the first in her family to graduate high school. She was certainly the smartest. But Sarah had no childcare, and her Missouri high school wouldn't let her bring her baby into the classroom. And so circumstances forced her to drop out, to stop her education. It's been nearly 14 years. I've kept filming with Sarah, listening to Sarah, learning from Sarah. At 28, Sarah is now the proud mother of 3, also the legal guardian of her youngest siblings. Sarah was the caregiver for her mother, who lost her legs and then her life at 47 due to complications of diabetes. Not unlike millions of women, Sarah is the safety net for her entire family. 3 generations rely on her. Amidst it all, last year, Sarah also managed to earn her high school diploma. But I have been sobered. Yes, thank you for Sarah. I've been sobered that supporters of my previous films, the ones about abortion, have not been interested in Sarah's story. These funders have rejected Sarah's story largely because she chose not to have an abortion. Her story doesn't fit a certain agenda, and why would I want to make a film about what they consider to be bad choices? So no, the left doesn't like Sarah's story because she didn't have an abortion. The right doesn't like Sarah's story because Sarah still struggles and needs childcare and has ambition outside of the home. Worst of all, it's not a rags to riches story about American exceptionalism. So I don't know where our stories will end, but this talk is not about Sarah specifically, or even whether I will ever be able to finish my documentary film about her. I do know that in this time of censorship, social media echo chambers, corporate media consolidation, extreme partisanship, and ultranationalism around the world, there is real power in the overlooked, not data-driven, but nuanced, not often told story to save us, to bridge divides and open hearts, to build a world where we all belong. The quiet girl in the corner, she has lots of stories she has never told. She has seen some things. So listen to her. In real life, at a kitchen table, at the front door, and across all mediums, even a movie theater. For now, her story is here with us. So thank you for listening.